What's up, guys? It's Ethan here. I know it's been a while since I've done a PvP video, let alone a video of talking about low-sec faction warfare combat. So I wanted to fly out to some of the new faction warfare systems that are present with the whole gate building content that is involved with the Caldari and Galente, and same thing with Minmatar and Amarr. Didn't go to Minmatar or Amarr space just yet, but as you can see, I switched from potato mode to high graphics mode. I wanted to try a few different things. Sorry if I go through the fit here pretty quickly. I'm actually voicing over all of this because the day I recorded this, I just sounded like absolute death on the microphone, so I just figured I'd record it a bit later. But I wanted to check out these new systems. I wanted to try the Tristan because this is a fit I've actually tried quite a few times in faction warfare, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Though I probably would make some adjustments nowadays, now that I've actually flown it quite a few times, but I was just saying, hey, I'm just going to fly 3 or 4 of these Tristan ships, just kind of see what the best outcome is for the most part. So wanted to try a different skin each time. Also, if you guys have noticed too, when I was naming my ships, I have a funny like Taco Bell menu naming convention I have for my ships, which is always pretty fun. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. And it took me about 15 minutes to get into my first fight. I was flying around quite a bit just to find something to fight that's roughly frigate sized. I found another Tristan, and it seemed completely AFK, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was going to start typing in local. I just approached him. I didn't want to like lock him or do anything just yet. And I'm like, I'm just going to wait for this guy to kind of wake up. And of course, right when I clicked look at, I didn't notice that he was already burning away. And here I'm already panicking. And to be quite honest, it's been a while since I've actually done like frigate PvP. In wormhole space, more recently, I've been flying a lot of like E-warships, some Bouchers, some hacks, things like that. So flying like frigate PvP, especially against another frigate, it all happens so fast. So you notice I'm like manually clicking a lot of stuff. I'm not overheating modules. And I actually ended up losing this fight after everything is said and done. And his fit was actually pretty poverty fit. I mean, I looked up the fit afterward on Z Killboard, and it was only about a million ISK, maybe $1.5 million at the most. So even though my fit is worth, you know, about 18 million or so, he actually ended up killing me here. And I did get a bit out of position. I did kind of basically let him get the jump on me or build quite a bit of distance. But it was a lesson learned, and the next time I see this guy, I'm definitely not going to give him I'm definitely not going to show him any mercy at all whatsoever. So hopefully here we'll get into the next fight. All right, so this time around, we're actually going to try a different skin. And I actually was surprised how many different skins I had for the Tristan. So I guess we'll go ahead and try the green apple this time around. So the whole point of this Tristan fit, I actually ended up going dual Neut. So this is a very good way of shutting down other blaster ships or other ships that are running lasers, which is you typically don't see too much in faction warfare low sec, unless it's like a Navy Slicer. I'm sure there's some other ships you typically see, but I actually ended up landing on these like fleet of Ventures, and I was just genuinely curious if I could kill them. Honestly, there's nothing that could actually keep me from warping off grid because they do have a +2 scram strength, so this guy could just warp off if he wanted to. So I figured like the best I could do is scram him, just double Neut him, and maybe I can Neut him out before he notices. But there's a certain point where I just have a swarm of about 12 drones that are all just smacking me, and it actually ended up not going too well. So he's actually approaching me, but the guy has no scram, no web. I thought I had enough oomph to get through, and I might have been able to kill him because frigates, not frigates, but Ventures are shield tanked for the most part. He actually ended up warping off grid anyway, so like I said before, there's nothing I could do that can really keep him there anyway. So it was just kind of like a fun engagement. I actually made quite a few you know, kind of friends, and kind of just chatted up in local quite a bit with people, as you can kind of see there in chat. So this time around, I actually wanted to find that Tristan pilot again, and I thought he was on D-scan, but I guess not. So I slid the gate, didn't find him, but a Kestrel actually ended up following me in, and I'm in the perfect position. This is the exact position I want to be in. I'm preheating all my guns, my webs, everything. Realistically, I probably didn't need, I mean, he's on top of me. I don't know if he was actually going to kite away. I can basically stop overheating my web as well as my scram because he's within range anyway. I kind of got what I wanted. I'm overheating my Neuts, so I can kind of Neut him out a bit quicker. But then again, he is what seems to be here like a rocket fit, so the best I could do is Neut him out from using any like active shield modules or anything like that. So I wouldn't say that his fit necessarily counters me. It's just that the dual Neut isn't ideal against missile ships or ships that are like passive fit. Also ships that use like autocannons, things like that. So it probably would have been better if I was just like dual blaster fit instead of like dual Neut with a single blaster. But it's still pretty fun. So as you can see there, he had, I think eventually I do show the fit. here towards the end, so did want to show a bit of the damage as well that's happened on the hull. I definitely think that CCP has done an amazing job upping the graphics. I remember they did that graphical overhaul just a couple years back. It just made all the ships just look so much better, so much nicer for the most part. And so now that I'm descanning, I'm seeing that same Tristan show up again at 1. So at this point, I'm like, I'm just going to get off grid. I don't want to fight this guy again in hull damage already. And this is this guy's Kestrel fit. And honestly, like, you look at this fit, it's only 1.5 mil. My fit's about 18 mils, so obviously I'm overspending by quite a bit, but it just kind of goes to show you can actually still be pretty competitive for the most part in some of these areas if you're only flying a 1 to 2 mil frigate for the most part, as long as you just fitted it correctly. And also the frigate, or the Kestrel, is pretty good. So here I'm just messing around with the Ventures. I mean, I was kind of flying around and we were just talking in chat or in local, as you can see here. And for some reason, this Corax was chasing me for quite a while. He could never catch me because, you know, I'm in a frigate and he's in a slow Corax. And I was kind of hoping the Corax might engage the Ventures. And I'm like, all right, if he does that, I'm going to join with him. I also told him to attack these dirty miners, so that doesn't seem to be the case. I also told this miner too, over and over. I'm like, dude, just attack me. I just want to see if I can like kite your drones. And obviously that was not the case. Like, you're not going to be able to kite out drones in an Afterburner fit and try to defang with your own drones. Like, it's just going to take too long. So I just wanted to test my luck again. It was pretty funny. And we both set our GFs, and it was just kind of like a fun little encounter. Here I'm actually landing on 2 prospects. So another thing you can do with the new event, apparently, is you can mine in these like specific like little ore belts that show up on your overview, and you can start mining them out. Yeah, I guess you turn them in for loyalty points. To be honest, I'm trying to understand this new mechanic when it comes to the building the Stargate thing for the new event for faction warfare and stuff. So still not completely sure. I haven't actually picked a side in faction warfare yet, just because I feel like I would have to like leave my corporation, and then it just seems like a bit of a headache. But here I'm actually fighting a Fed Navy Comet. So I actually fought this guy earlier and almost beat him. I completely forgot to have my recording software on. But when I see a Fed Navy Comet, I'm immediately thinking blasters. I am dual Neut fit, so the time is in my favor. I try to kite as much as I can, and he starts applying to me here pretty well. I've noticed that like sometimes I just start having my scram as well as my web like overheated, like 1 cycle too many. I didn't overheat my blaster as much, but he actually ends up giving me a good bit of advice after this fight is over. For the most part. And so unfortunately I do lose this fight, but I mean, at the end of the day, the guy is flying a Fed Navy Comet. But I do think if I just flew correctly, I would have won that fight. I also notice I'm a bit slow with warping off grid when it comes to my pod sometimes. So he does try to pod me here, but I don't know why he didn't bother scramming me if he was able to shoot me. But as you can see here, we actually start talking to local a bit. I know we say good fight and all that stuff. And so he actually told me that he was completely neuted out. He admitted he was completely neuted out, but he was still able to shoot his blasters occasionally because I didn't stagger my neuts, meaning I basically let one neut run all the way till it gets to about half a cycle, then I start the other neut, so they kind of cycle like 1 and 1. So basically I have a neut, I basically keep up my neut pressure every 2 to 3 seconds rather than them hitting every 6 seconds, you know, both at the same time. So I tried it a little bit differently this way. He was kind of talking in chat. I'm like, hey, just warp into the novice plex. I swear I'm not going to be like 20 kilometers off. So I was trying to be honorable here, and actually probably ended up biting me anyway. And so again, you can see there, I'm actually staggering my neuts. I'm learning, or for some weird reason here, I actually ended up like turning into him a little bit. I think it's just due to bad habits and experience of flying in wormhole space, where I'm typically flying around bigger ships. I can kind of make more riskier maneuvers and stuff like that. But when it comes to frigate fights, everything happens so quickly. So, I mean, I think I ended up losing to this guy about 3 times in a row. But I actually ended up learning quite a bit. I'll have to bring in some different frigates next time around when I try this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I am going to be doing some ship giveaways down in the comments below. So please like, comment, subscribe, and just tell me what you guys learned or what you guys liked about the video. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys take care. I'll catch you guys next time.